So in the last class, we have discussed chain rule for partial differentiation. Okay, so we'll do one or more two problems and then we will move on to the next exercise. Okay, so evaluate curly u by curly x if at the point 3 root 3 comma 2 comma 1, if u is equal to p minus q upon q minus r, and your p is x plus y plus z and q is x minus y plus z and r is x plus y minus z, right? So you see here u is a function of p, q and r, three variables, and further p, q, r are function of x, y, z, and you are asked to compute curly u by curly x. So what it will be? It will be curly u by curly p into curly p by curly x plus curly u by curly q into curly q by curly x plus curly u by curly r into curly r by curly x. Now curly u by curly p you can compute from here. That will be 1 upon q minus r, right, into curly p by curly r, that is 1, plus curly u by curly q. From here you have to compute curly u by curly q. So that will be
-1.
q minus r square, q minus r into minus 1, right, minus p minus q into 1 into dq by dx, that you can see is 1, plus curly u by curly r, that is minus p minus q upon q minus r square into minus 1, so it is plus 1, into curly r by curly x, that is again 1, right? So this is equal to, you just take the q minus r square, so you have q minus r minus q minus r minus p minus q plus p minus q. So this is equal to 0. Okay, so curly u by curly x is 0. Fine. So you see next problem.
And we can do this problem by substituting the value of PQR also, right?
Yeah,
That
obviously
will be more easy.
in this case that is easy, but you are supposed to do like this, but obviously there is nothing wrong if you substitute the value in u for p, q, r, you convert it into a function of x, y, z. That is also you can do, but generally we do like this only, right?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Thank you.
so next is if f u v w is differentiable. Differentiable means partial derivatives exist, and u is equal to x minus y, v is equal to y minus z, w is equal to z minus x. Then show that curly f by curly x plus curly f by curly y plus curly f by curly z is 0. Okay, so you see here, if you curly f by curly x will be, can you tell me? F is a function of u v w. So it will be curly f by curly u by curly x plus curly f by curly v by curly x plus curly f by curly w by curly x. So this is equal to curly u by curly x is 1, curly v by curly x is 0, and curly w by curly x is minus 1. So this is equal to curly f by curly u minus curly f by curly w. Now let us compute curly f by curly y. That will be curly f by curly u by curly y plus curly f by curly v by curly y plus curly f by curly w by curly y. Now this curly u by curly y is minus 1, curly v by curly y is 1, and curly w by curly y is 0. So this is minus curly f by curly u plus curly f by curly v. Now curly f by curly z, that is equal to curly f by curly u by curly z, plus curly f by curly v by curly z, plus curly f by curly w by curly z. Now curly u by curly z is 0, curly v by curly z is -1, and curly w by curly z is 1. So this is equal to minus curly f by curly v plus curly w by curly z. Now you add, you will get on the left hand side curly f by curly x plus curly f by curly y plus curly f by curly z, and on the right hand side you see this term and this term will cancel, this term and this term will cancel, this term and this term will cancel, so you'll get a 0, right? So hence proved. Got it, beta? Simple calculations you have to do. Not
आपने करा एक समय आपने करली w अपॉन करली y में वहाँ पर x भी तो था, तो dx by dy का वो नहीं देखेंगे हम?
no, beta.
लास्ट वाले में w अपॉन z की जगह f अपॉन w होगा.
Where?
लास्ट वाले में करली f by करली z वाले में एंड में करली w by करली f by करली w होगा rather than करली w by करली z.
No, curly w by curly z ही होगा
नहीं
beta.
सही तो है.
हाँ वो तो 1 हो गया ना वो तो.
You see beta, here you see f is a function of u v w, and u v w further they are the functions of x y and z. Okay, so somebody is saying that when we are differentiating with respect to y there will be x also. No, x, y and z they are independent. Okay, so you have curly u by curly curly f by curly u here, curly f by curly v here, curly f by curly w here, and then here you have either the differentiation with respect to x on all the three edges, or with respect to y, or with respect to z. Okay,
Ma'am, how can we know x, y, and z are independent? Because in this given, it is not said that it is independent.
obviously f is a function of u v w, and further u v w are the functions of x, y and z. So they are obviously better. This is understood that these are independent. You see, these are the basic variables in which, in terms of which everything is defined. U v w are defined in terms of x, y, z, and further f is defined in terms of u v w. It means that f is defined in terms of x, y, and z. So x, y, z are your independent variables. Yes, beta.
And what I am saying is in the
Yes,
last
ma'am.
term curly f by curly z, the final term comes out to be minus curly f by curly v plus curly f by curly w, not curly w by curly z, the final term.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, that is why then. Yeah, this is right. This is this term. Okay. This is one curly f by curly w, and then it will be cancelled. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, beta. Okay. So let us go for the next similar problem. Okay. So it is given that, let me write on the full statement. Show that if we substitute polar coordinates x is equal to r cos theta, y is equal to r sin theta in a function w is equal to fxy. So everybody knows that these are the polar coordinates. Even if you don't know, that it's okay. So this we can always translate xy in terms of r and theta like this, right? Okay, so you are given that w is a function of x and y, x is further a function of r and theta, and y is a function of r and theta. Then you have to show that curly w by curly r will be equal to fx cos theta plus fy sin theta, and 1 by r curly w by curly theta is minus fx sin theta plus fy cos theta. And also we have to show fx square plus fy square is equal to curly w by curly r square plus 1 by r square curly w by curly theta square. So simple calculations you have to do. So you see, first one, you have to compute curly W by curly R. So curly W by curly R is your W is equal to fxy. So it is curly F by curly X by curly R plus curly F by curly Y by curly R. So this is curly F by curly X by curly R is cos theta plus curly F by curly Y. What is the derivative of Y with respect to R? That is sin theta, right? So first is very clear that you get curly W by curly R is equal to fx cos theta plus fy sin theta. Okay. Now you have to prove curly W by curly theta. So curly W by curly theta will be curly F by curly X by curly theta plus curly F by curly Y by curly theta. So this is fx. What is curly X by curly theta? X is your R cos theta. So curly X by curly theta is minus R sin theta plus Fy curly Y by curly theta is your R cos theta. So you can bring R on the other side here. You will have 1 by R curly W by curly R is equal to minus Fx sin theta plus Fy cos theta. So this is what you have to prove. Okay. Now the second part, for this part, can you tell me what we should do? For proving that fx square plus fy square is equal to something.
इन दोनों के स्क्वायर्स को ऐड कर देंगे.
Yeah, you just square these two equations, squaring both sides and adding. Okay, so squaring both sides of equations 1 and 2 and adding, we get curly W by curly R square plus 1 by R square curly W by curly theta, right? Curly theta square is equal to, right hand side pe you will have fx cos theta plus fy sin theta square plus minus fx sin theta plus fy cos theta square. So you can do the calculations, fx square cos square theta from here, fx square sin square theta from here. So you have fx square cos square theta plus sin square theta, that will be 1. And then from here you have fy square sin square theta. Here you have fy square cos square theta. So you have fy square sin square theta plus cos square theta. And from here you have 2 fx fy sin theta cos theta. And from here you will have minus 2 fx fy sin theta cos theta. This and this will cancel. So you will have fx square plus fy square. So this is equal to curly W by curly R square plus 1 by R square curly W by curly theta square. So this is what we have to prove. Okay. Is that clear? Yeah, sure. Okay, beta, so similar problems you have to do for chain rule. So please do your tutorial sheets also and other questions also from the book.
Mom, can you scroll down?
Yeah, sure. Done? So we have completed exercise 12.5. Okay. 12.5 is completed with this. So I have already told you 12.1, 12.2, 12.3, 12.4 is not in syllabus, 12.5. So we have completed these exercises. 12.6 again is not in your syllabus. So next we are going to start with 12.7, that is directional.
12.1 is in our syllabus, no?
Yeah, but not everything, some part of it, right? Just the
मैम प्लीज
introduction.
मैम 12.1 के प्लीज क्वेश्चंस बता दीजिएगा कौन से कर रहे हैं मैम व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप पे डाल दीजिएगा मैम प्लीज
Okay, but okay, I'll do that. It's pending work from my side. I'll do that. Okay.
थैंक यू मैम
Yes. So let us start with 12.7, that is directional derivatives. So I hope everybody is comfortable with partial derivatives. Yes, students?
हाँ जी मैम.
Okay. So now we will be discussing something which was not there in function of one variable, right? That is directional derivatives. And some days back, a student has also asked me a doubt. So I think with the introduction of directional derivatives, that doubt will be also cleared. Okay. So let us start with directional derivatives. I will like go very slow because this is a new thing. Directional derivative. Okay, beta. Now you see what we have done. You have a function of two variables, right? So everything applies for more than two variable function also. So if you have a function of three variable also, then also you can talk about directional derivative. But because for a function of two variable, it is easy to see the things. So that is why I'm introducing everything for function of two variables. So we have a function of two variables. It means that we have, this is our domain, xy plane is our domain, and this is our range. R, real axis is our range. Fine. Now suppose you have a point A comma B, right? So if I talk about curly f by curly x, it means that I am talking about what is okay. Let me tell you like this. It means that if I want to see change in f when I move in only x direction, okay, if I just move in x direction, this is my x direction, this is my x direction, this is my point A comma B, and if I move delta x here in my x direction, then change in f if I move in x direction keeping y as a constant is
हम
equal
वो तो
to,
del f by del x into delta x हो जाएगा ना.
yes, curly f by curly x into delta x, right? So this derivative, which is a partial derivative with respect to x, just gives me the information about my function, about the change in my function if I move along x-axis. Okay, and if I move in y direction, if I move in y direction, say I move in y direction delta y, if you move in y direction keeping x as a constant, then change in your function, value of the function of course, is equal to curly f by curly y into delta y. Is that clear to everybody? So these derivatives, partial derivatives which we have computed, they are giving us the information about change in your function when you are moving parallel to x-axis or parallel to y-axis. But we also have option of moving along any other direction because you are in R2, your domain. You can move in any other direction also. Okay. So what will be the rate of change in fxy at if I move along any other direction? Question is clear to everybody? So this is the question which we are going to answer. Okay, so the problem is this is a point A comma B. I am moving along a direction which is denoted by a unit vector, say u cap. Okay, so at a point A comma B, if I move along a direction which is defined by the unit vector u cap, then I would like to know what is the rate of change. Okay, so suppose this point is P. This rate of change when you move along the direction u cap is called, this is called directional derivative of f at point P in the direction of u cap, and we denote it as curly f by, okay, we write it as d f by ds at the point p naught along the vector u. Okay, so if you have put a cap here, you can put a cap here. Otherwise, you can put a vector symbol also. That is your choice. Is that okay? Definition is clear to everybody that at a point, standing at a point A, comma B, you are moving in a direction along the direction the unit vector is u cap or u vector, that is a unit vector. So this is important that you are saying that this is a unit vector. Okay, unit vector means it has modulus 1. So we would like to know, if you're moving in this direction, what is the rate of change in your function? Okay, what is this ds? Why we are writing df by ds? I will tell you in a moment. Okay, so this is the directional derivative of f at point P in direction of u cap, and the notation is df by ds. You will also write u cap, comma p naught. P naught means the point we are talking about. Suppose this is your p naught. Okay, so let us see how we are going to compute this derivative and what is this s here. Let us see that.
Ma'am,
Now
can
you-
you just wait for a minute?
Yeah, sure.
Can you just wait for a minute?
You're not audible. You want me to repeat or you want to just note?
Ma'am, just wait for a minute.
Oh, wait. Okay, fine. Thank you. Okay, can we continue?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, beta, now let us try to compute this partial derivative. So you see, you are at a point A, comma B. You are moving in a direction. The unit vector in that direction is u cap. Okay, and we are in xy plane. So let us assume u vector is u1 I cap plus u2 j cap, right? We can always assume this. Now, what is the equation of this line? What is the equation of line? What is the equation of line passing through P naught, which is A, comma B, along U vector? Tell me. Can anybody tell me what will be the equation of line?
Ma'am, lambda times u cap plus a I cap plus bj cap.
Yeah. So basically, if you say x comma y is any general point, then we will say that this vector is x minus a I cap plus y minus b j cap is equal to a multiple of u vector. So that we are writing s. Is that thing clear to everybody? This is the equation of the line, that this vector xy minus ab, that is x minus a I cap plus y minus b j cap is equal to s into u cap, where s is actually the distance between a comma b and x comma y. Can you see this? Because this has unit vector. This is the unit vector, so length is 1. So if you compute the length distance between x, y and a comma b, that is s. Can you see that? Because if you take mod on both sides, right? So what is the mod of this? That will be x minus a square plus y minus b square ka square root. And what will the mode of this? That will be s, because u vector is a unit vector, so its modulus is 1. So this S here is the distance between A comma B and X comma Y. Clear? So it means that from here you can see X minus A is S into, I can write it as SU1 I cap plus SU2 J cap. So X minus A is SU1 and Y minus B is SU2. So your X is A plus SU1 and Y is B plus SU2. Okay? Is that thing clear to everybody? So if you are at a point A comma B and you are moving on the line which is parallel to U vector, then at any point at any instant the point will look like A plus SU1 comma B plus SU2, where this is the distance S. Clear? Now we have this situation. Now we have the following situation. F is a function of X and Y. And X is equal to A plus SU1. Y is B plus SU2. Here, A, B are fixed because we are standing at a fixed point. And U1 and U2 are also fixed because we are already given the unit vector. So these are the things given in the question itself, right? So it means that S is the variable. So what you get, that F is a function of X and Y, and X and Y both are the function of S. And we are interested in, so you get F is a function of X and Y, and X and Y are functions of S. We are interested in, so by definition you see, we are interested in rate of change of F when you move in this direction. That is nothing but rate of change of F with respect to S. We are interested in dF by ds. And because this A, B, U1, U2 has to be specified, that is why we write like this. So we are interested in this. That will be by the chain rule, will be curly F by curly X into dx by ds plus curly F by curly Y into dy by ds. This is by chain rule. Okay. Now what is curly dx by ds? That is u1. A is constant, so derivative is 0. So here curly x by curly s is u1. And what is curly y by curly s? That is u2. So this quantity here is curly f by curly x into u1 plus curly f by curly y into u2. Is that thing clear? Now I will write it in the form of vectors. Can I write like this? Curly f by curly x I cap plus curly f by curly y j cap dot product with u1 I cap plus u2 j cap. I can write like this. Now what is this? This is your unit vector. So this you get curly f by curly x I cap plus curly f by curly y j cap dot product with u vector. So this is your directional derivative. This is how you will compute directional derivative. This is obviously at the point P naught. Okay, everything you have to calculate at the point P naught. This is how you will compute directional derivative at a point P naught along u cap. So, and the important thing is this has to be a unit vector. U vector has to be a unit vector. So if I give you, let us compute one. Find the derivative of,
Ma'am,
yes,
ma'am, how do we have dx by ds is equals to u1?
see beta,
Yes, ma'am, I
x
have the same doubt.
students, see, I have already computed, right? We have, if we are on this line, what is your x? X is a plus su1, because we are moving along this line only. That is what we are doing, right? And y is b plus su2.
Oh, okay.
So what will be dx by ds? That will be u1. What will be dy by ds? That is u2.
U2. Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Is that
thank
thing
you,
clear?
ma'am.
Yeah. Anybody having any other doubt, beta? Okay. So this is the formula which you will use for directional derivative. So find the derivative of fxy equal to x square plus xy at point 1 comma 2 in the direction of the unit vector u vector is 1 by root 2 I cap plus 1 by root 2 j cap. Okay. So we have df by ds. This is what we have to compute. U cap comma p naught. This by formalize. Yes. Curly f by curly y j cap dot product with your unit vector, which is 1 by root 2 I cap plus 1 by root 2 j cap. Now what is curly f by curly x? At the point 1 comma 2. Everything has to be computed at the point 1 comma 2. Curly f by curly x is 2x plus y. Okay, you can see from here, plus I cap plus curly f by curly y is x j cap. At the point 1 comma 2, dot product with 1 by 2 I cap plus 1 by 2 root 2 j cap. So this is, you put the point, x is 1, y is 2. So this is 4 I cap plus j cap dot product with 1 by root 2 I cap plus 1 by root 2 j cap. So this is equal to 4 by root 2 plus 1 by root 2. So this is 5 by root 2. So this is your answer. This is the directional derivative. When you are standing, it means that here if you are standing at a point 1 comma 2 and you are moving in this direction 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, then the rate of change of function is 5 by root 2. Is that thing clear? Students, is this thing clear to everybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this we have curly f by curly x I cap plus curly f by curly y j cap dot product with your unit vector is your directional derivative. Right? This vector we call it as, we have a name. We call this vector as gradient of f at p naught. Okay, and we denote it by del f. This is the notation. So therefore directional derivative will be equal to gradient of f at p naught dot product with your unit vector. So this is the formula you will see in the books, like this it is written. So this we call as gradient. Is that thing clear? Gradient is just a vector which is defined as curly f by curly x I cap plus curly f by curly y j cap. This is note 1. And note 2 is, if you have function of 3 variables, if you have function of 3 variables, okay, suppose you have x, y, z, you are standing at a point p naught which is a comma b comma c, and you have to compute the derivative along a unit vector which is u1 I cap plus u2 j cap plus u3 k cap. Then again the formula will be same, everything is same. Curly f by curly s, you will write like u cap, u vector p naught is equal to curly f by curly x I cap plus curly f by curly y j cap plus curly f by curly z k cap. Now you will have three things, x, y, z, dot product with your u vector. Okay, so again we call this vector as gradient. So this can be written as gradient of f at the point p naught dot product with u vector. Okay, is that thing clear? So let us do one problem. Find the derivative of fxy equals to x e raised by y plus cos xy at the point 2, 0 in the direction of a vector, which is 3i minus 4j. Okay, so you see, we know the formula is, we have to compute this curly f by curly s in the direction of a vector p naught, but you have to make it unit vector first. Okay, make it unit vector. So unit vector, how to make a vector, how to convert a vector into unit vector? Divide by
मॉड से डिवाइड कर देंगे.
Root
now,
of
what is mod of a here? That is 3 square plus 4 square square root. That
5.
is 5, right? So your unit vector in the direction of a vector is 3i minus 4j divided by 5. Okay. Now we know that this is equal to gradient of f at the point p naught dot with your unit vector. Okay. Now what is the gradient of f? Gradient of f is curly f by curly x I cap plus curly f by curly y j cap plus curly f by curly z k cap. Now curly f by curly x, f is here. So curly f by curly x is e raised by y minus sin xy into derivative of xy with respect to x, that will be y I cap plus curly f by curly y. Sorry, this term is not there. We have a function of two variables. Okay. So what will be curly f by curly y? That will be x e raised by y minus sin xy into derivative of xy with respect to y, that is x. Right, now you have to compute it at 2, 0. So del f at 2, 0 is equal to, just put the values, e raised power 2, sorry, y is 0. E raised power 0 is 1 minus y is 0. Okay, so you have 1 I cap, right? Plus here you put y is equal to 0, x is 1, 2, so, y is 0, so this is 0, 2 j cap. So your gradient is I cap plus 2 j cap, right? Therefore, your directional derivative is equal to I cap plus 2 j cap dot product with the unit vector, that is 3 I cap minus 4 j cap upon 5. So that is equal to 3 by 5 minus 8 by 5, that is minus 5 by 5, that is minus 1. Okay? Is that thing clear to everybody? Anybody having any doubt in directional derivatives, please ask, beta. Next topic will start next week. That is properties of directional derivatives. So we'll start it next week. So you can ask.
Go a little upward. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. If you have any doubt in the definition of directional derivative or anywhere in today's lecture, please ask. We still have 2-3 minutes to go.
मैम जो ग्रेडियंट होता है डायरेक्शनल डेरिवेटिव में वो एक्चुअली ये बताते हैं जैसे हमें जो भी डायरेक्शन दिया गया है यूनिट वेक्टर पे उसमें कितना आगे या कितना मतलब उसके रेफरेंस में कितना आगे या पीछे वो है मतलब मूव किया.
वो gradient की बात कर रहे हो? You are talking about the gradient?
Yes ma'am, specifically about gradient.
No. You see, a gradient has nothing to do with the vector. You see here, gradient of f is independent. It is just curly f by curly x I cap plus curly f by curly y j cap plus curly f by curly z k cap. Right? So what we are doing here is, if you are standing at this point, so this gradient vector is just the change in f when you move along x, change in y, change in f when you move along y, and change in f when you move along z. So this is what is depicted in the gradient vector. So in a way, what you are doing, if you want to see it, what you are doing for directional derivative, you are projecting this part onto, you
The
see,
given unit vector
yeah,
जो है.
u1, and this part onto u2, this part onto u3. So physically also you can see that this thing, this into this plus this into this plus this into this, that will give you the rate of change of f when you are moving along these directions. So they are
Yes.
just the projections. So
Okay.
gradient is actually this part. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else, beta?
मैम सो ग्रेडियंट सारे तीनों डायमेंशंस में बता देता है कि कैसे
मैम
चेंज होगा
scroll down
एंड
कर
उसका
दीजिए, please.
प्रोजेक्शन ले लेते हैं हम.
Yes, beta. So gradient is basically just the dependence on x, y, and z axis. Right? Then we take the projection on to the given vector. Okay, is that thing clear, beta? So gradient is not connected with the unit vector which is given to you. That is what I am trying to say. Any doubts, beta? Okay, then we'll start. Like one topic is left for this exercise, properties of directional derivatives, but we have no time left. We'll do it in next week. Okay, then everybody, I will
Thank
see you on Monday. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Gagan.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
थैंक यू मैम.
Thank you, ma'am.
थैंक यू मैम.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, but